Hi, here we are again with our study in the book of Psalms, except we're again going to take a break from the book of Psalms. And before we get into that, I would greet you and again extend God's grace to you. And the incredible thing is we can actually do that with each other. We can extend the grace of the living God to each other. We can have mercy on each other as He's had mercy on us. And peace. We can encourage each other and comfort each other with hope and be at peace in this world. And along those lines is why we're taking a break from the book of Psalms. I'm not sure how long, but as I was studying the other day, I was just praying and asking God, where do we go? We've been in Psalms a while, and I just sensed there was something different that I didn't. I said, well, I've never taught this book, and I could teach these, and I'm just nothing. Or should I teach maybe out of the Old Testament? And it was just like nothing. And then I forget what day it was. I was praying and trying to prepare, and out of the blue, it just kind of just came over me. We need to look again at the second coming of Jesus Christ. For the times that we live in, the things that are going on in our world, the signs of the times. And I've been saying this right along that, boy, how far can it be from the time of His return, His second coming? And so I sense God's leading there. It wasn't written in fiery letters or a bolt of lightning out of heaven, but it was just like when it came into my mind, it was just, there wasn't that block or that, well, maybe this, maybe it was just, yeah. So I'll take that as God's direction any day. Because in our world, in my entire life, if there's ever been a time when people need hope, something to look forward to, something to be excited about, it's the days that we live in. And actually, whether you're Christians or not, you're looking for hope. You're wanting hope. And whether you're a Christian or not, God is offering hope through Jesus Christ, His Son, who did come the first time. And we're going to lay out some of this doctrinal, foundational stuff, because I think there may be some who are watching this that maybe aren't Christians. Hopefully that's true. And for those of us who are Christians, it's a good thing to review and solidify what we know. And so I'm going to lay this out, and overall it's God's plan of redemption from the time man fell, committed sin, and the corruption of humans and the whole creation. It tells us in Romans it groans and labors because it's not right since the fall. But there's coming a time it's all going to be set right. And that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what we're looking forward to. But why would God want to redeem you and I? I know me. I'm not a lot different than you. And mankind, his history is overall not good. Why didn't God just, you're done, I'm starting over? But He didn't. For some reason, I have no idea. He loves us. He loves his creation, mankind, so much that he wanted to restore relationship with us, fellowship that was broken when Adam and Eve sinned. He wanted it so much that he gave what was the most precious thing to him, his son. That was the first coming of Christ. And we know, many of us, the history of, it's laid out clearly in the Gospels of Jesus Christ. God came in the form of man, lived here on this earth for 33 years, began a ministry, did incredible miracles, claimed to be who he was, the Son of God. And for that, they took him and brutally beat him and murdered him on a cross. He endured that for us, to restore fellowship with us. That was his plan, even for us. And it's us Christians. We need to be sure that we don't come across as better than others, because it tells us in the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 23, all have sinned, all of us fall short of the glory of God. Some of us have just reached out and received that free gift that he offers to us. Jesus himself said in John chapter 15 verse 13, he says, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. And that's what Jesus did for us. He came with that purpose in mind. Just hard to believe. He paid the price, the debt for our sin, to satisfy an infinitely holy God who also wants to have fellowship with you and me, who are so far from being infinitely holy, except through Jesus. So, anyhow, this foundation, laid it out very briefly. I've talked about that when back prior to Resurrection Day, Easter, we did a series on the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, about the suffering Messiah. And when he came the first time and went into detail about a lot of that. So I'm not going to go over that again, except briefly as I have. What I want to focus on is this second coming and what it means to you, what effect that will have, and how will we know? And as we get into this, I'm going to lay this out. How we can know. We can't pick the day. Yeah, he's coming on this day. Men have done that, and they're liars. Every last one of them, doesn't matter how well-intentioned they were deceived, and they're liars, because it tells us very clearly. And where is it? I've got it written down here. Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. No one knows the day except God the Father, and he hasn't revealed that. And so, but he has given us indicators, signs, things that have happened, things that will happen. And we see things that the scripture tells us will happen in those ends. It's like a play by play of our world today. And I'm not going to get into those details of that this week. I'm going to get very much into depth about this whole thing of Jesus and the second coming and all the things that fit into that. And it's been a while back, a couple of years, we studied the book of Revelation, and we covered a lot of that. But boy, how much has our world changed in just 2 short years? Wow. I'm ready for a refresher course in Jesus' second coming, and I hope you are too. That's enough for this week. One note is this video series began because we were not able to have Sunday school in church. This Sunday is the first Sunday that we will be having Sunday school class again since all this began. So those of you who live around here, I would invite you, encourage you, and we will be there, and we will be covering this. And Sunday school begins at Bethany Pentecostal Church, 5th and Francis, at 9:30, and I would invite you. God bless and take care.